Okay, third time's a charm. Something's going on with this. I don't know if it's the algorithms with Facebook or what, but in any case, let's try this again. I was almost done. Okay, so this must be super, super, super important information, which is why someone or something is trying to interfere with it. So, today we're talking about the ultimate wellness checklist. For years and years, over 25 years, I've been teaching health and wellness. I started out at UCLA. I was a personal fitness trainer to the bunch of the stars in Malibu who wanted to get fit for their roles and so they could go out and spend insane amounts of money on things like personal trainers. And then chiropractic completely saved my life. I was studying to become a spinal surgeon at UCLA, or so I thought. But when I had a very severe back injury, I'll tell the story another time, a chiropractor completely saved my life. And so I became a chiropractor, changing lives through adjusting, teaching wellness, teaching what people should eat, and teaching health, and just having a blast doing it for 15 years straight. I've been serving this community for 19 years until a very, very serious thing happened. Many of you listening to this know about my wife, the most amazing human being on earth, the strongest person, very disciplined. We were living the lifestyle. Chiropractors believe in eating organic, eating vegetables, getting adjusted, exercising. We were doing it all. Turned out we weren't doing quite all of it. And she was diagnosed 4 years ago with cancer. So, extremely hard road. We're still not out of it. But I will say this, we had to do whatever it took to get her healed. Another story, long story made short, she opted out of the chemo and radiation that was recommended to her because we had to get her body truly healed, not just poisoned so that cancer was dead. So we had to figure out our ultimate wellness checklist to get her super, super abundantly healthy. That was our only choice. And when I look at a lot of America right now, if you've been paying any attention whatsoever, you look at cancer, you look at heart disease, you look at diabetes, you look at all these other diseases that are rampant. When I was a child, autism and autism spectrum disorders were about 1 in 10,000. Today, it's 1 in 38, according to a recent study. 1 in 38. We are going crazy, which brings up what my movie line for today. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. It's the same face. So some of you may know what that is. It's a slightly different application. I've used this movie before, by the way, so maybe that's cheating. But I feel like I'm going crazy because as much as I've been teaching wellness, people following a lot of the lifestyle, we find people think they know, but they don't really know. And your health and your wellness and your family's health is probably the number one most important thing that you can think about or be doing or looking at or focusing on. But we find that a lot of people are really lost. Or they may know what to do, but they're not actually walking it out. They're not actually doing it even though they know. Because it's not just what you know, it's what you do. Aristotle says, you are what you repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but a habit. It's a habit. So we have to teach people the ultimate wellness checklist so that they can be well, so they can avoid the cancers. They can avoid the heart disease. They can avoid the diabetes, these things that are just running rampant in our country right now. So I'm going to teach you how to do it. You may not have all the tools, but this is the checklist for how to do it. So people listen to this from all over the world. So some of you may just be checking this off and working on it yourself. Some of you may need some help or some coaching because we find that people need accountability in order to do this. So we're working on expanding Rhino to go worldwide, but for right now we're just focusing on our niche, if you will, of Redding, California and its surrounding communities. So there are three, everybody say three critical pillars of things you must do in order to be abundantly healthy. Most people, like I said, are kind of winging it. If you had to fly from here to New York tomorrow and you were 10 degrees off, a lot of people hit 90 or 10% off, let's say. You do 90% well most of the time, but some of you are like 30, 40%. But if you had to go to New York and you were 10% or 10 degrees off, those are different, I realize, you would be far, far off your target by the time you got there. So this checklist will help you. That's my purpose, is to help you. The first one is structure and power. Every science in the world, except for now modern medicine, which is more blood or disease-based, Every science in the world, between anatomy, physiology, physics, mechanics, chemistry, biochemistry, every science in the world, every textbook says structure determines function. Structure determines function. But we're not looking at structure first. We're looking for a germ or a virus that's more powerful that we're going to try to kill with poison to try to make us healthy. Every bit of focus on darkness will never bring light. You can't focus on darkness and get light. We have to build in health. So the structure is number one. The alignment of the most important part of your structure, which is your spine. We all know that. You'll never find people with normal structure in a nursing home. You won't find it. They're all like this. And the reason they're sick is because their structure is off. Their function is off. So the structure and the power means within that structure we generate power and strength. Some of you, none of you on this line may ever want to deadlift 500 pounds. You may never want to squat 400 pounds. Or you may never want to clean and jerk 350. But you are going to want to be able to get into and out of the shower. You are going to want to safely navigate your toilet when you're older. You're going to want to pick up your kids and grandkids. Those are normal things. You may want to golf. You may want to boogie board. Whatever it is you want to do, you need to generate power to do that. You're just not thinking of it. You just think as you get weaker, everyone just says, oh, well, I'm getting old, and my hips are wearing out, and my back and my elbows. That's not how we're made. We're made to live abundantly for 120 years. It's just hardly anyone's doing it. And because we're, forgive this word, I'm sensitive to this word, but I mean it in a literal sense, because we're all retarded to the same degree from normal, we are not expressing life. Okay? So you have to have normal structure. You have to generate some power, some strength in your body. If you're not going to be living the life you want to live. So that's number one. These two influence physiology powerfully. That one controls it. That's why I'm a chiropractor first, and we work on other wellness concepts second. So mental, emotional, and spiritual. The Bible says, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. That applies to women, children, everybody. Whatever you think, if you're thinking joy, abundant, healthy, power thoughts every day and you're repeating those to yourself, you're bringing life to your body. If you're thinking fear, stress, disease, all those thoughts, you are bringing that to your body, whether you know it or not. The Bible also says life and death are found in the tongue. Now, if you're not a Bible reader, that's completely fine. Many, 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 many studies show that what we believe, we print out in our bodies. Because your brain runs your body. As everybody knows, your brain runs your hormones, your immune system, your digestion, and it runs it through the spine. But if we're thinking fear, stressful thoughts, we are not going to be well. You have to program wellness thinking into your body. That's one of the key components of our Rhino program, is programming that in. How do we do that specifically? Everyone knows we need those things, but not everyone's doing it. The third thing is the metabolic and the nutrients. It's been said you are what you eat. That's partially true. You are what your body's able to do with what you eat. Some of us are eating amazing foods, but we're putting racing fuel in a car that needs a tune-up, and we're not aware of it because we don't hurt in our back. We don't think of getting our spine checked, our nervous system checked, or the emotional, spiritual, mental, spiritual component of this whole thing. So we have to make sure that we're nurturing those components, but then we do need to tune up our metabolic systems. That's beyond the scope of today, but we need to tune up our metabolic systems. We also need to know one of the key components. When my wife got sick, we found out, we tested her. On all of our Rhino athletes, our clients, we do testing to find out what foods are producing inflammation, what foods our body's actually fighting. While Dee thought she was eating super healthy food, and on a nutrition chart they were super, super healthy foods, turned out that her body was responding very badly to the ones she was eating most. When I tested myself, I found the same thing. Praise God, we caught mine a little bit earlier. I don't know what would have happened if it happened to both of us. But so we had to radically change her diet, as we do for a lot of our clients. They need to tune up what they're eating. What's great for one person is not so good for another. And I wish it didn't have to be that way. I really do. But again, you look at 90% of Americans dying from heart disease, cancer, and diabetes, and now autoimmune disorders are radically way off the charts. Our ancestors never dealt with any of this. Our grandparents never hardly dealt with any of this level of sickness. We're seeing things that are absolutely unprecedented. We've got to come at it with unprecedented tools, with a full wellness checklist. So we have to be putting in the right nutrients, and we have to make sure our body's tuned up, ready to receive those nutrients. So I hope that this has been helpful for you to understand the Ultimate Wellness Checklist. If you find that you may need some help with this, answer on there, comment on there. What do you need help with? What are the things you most need help with? People who are coming in and clients are getting all of this, but if you need some help, just let us know. That's what we're here for. We also have an event next Tuesday night, June 6th at 5:30 p.m. It's a Rhino launch event. If you want to learn more about this program and what we're doing, we will tell you all about it, A to Z, everything you need to know. By the way, one lucky person will win Tuesday night. We're going to draw a name. One person will win the entire program completely for free. So tune in, show up. We're excited to see you here. So comment below if you know what the movie quote was from for a free gift to Roots Juice Bar, a gift card for there. And also you can find all these videos on YouTube, and you can go and subscribe to my channel there in case you want to see that. So comment if you like this. Also respond if you want to attend to that, because this class is filling up super, super fast. Thank you for joining me. I hope I've been a blessing. Go make an amazing weekend. Get out and do something